Hello everybody, my name is Nemo and this is footage from the Top Tier Tactics tournament hosted by WiNGSPAN TT on his website toptiertactics.com. So this tournament is a single elimination tournament with a best out of 5, which means you need to get 3 wins to be able to advance to the next round in this tournament, and if you don't win then you're out of the tournament. There are no loser brackets. It is completely single elimination. So that means that I need to win 3 games out of 5 in this, or out of 6 in case there's some way that we can get a tie, or I mean, there's cards in this format like Earthquake which would kill you and your opponent, which would count as a tie. So I assume then in that case it would be a best out of 6 instead of a best out of 5 if we do get a tie like that. But let's just see about that. So there's 7 rounds in total, and I decided to put all the matches of a round into one video. So you're gonna see whether or not I win round 1 against this guy apeheta in this one video, rather than spread out across multiple videos, as I don't want to flood my channel with multiple videos which are like a few minutes short, or because some of these games don't take that long. And as well, there's the DLC coming out and I want to focus on that as well. So I certainly don't want to flood my channel with too many videos for that reason. So I decided to choose Peacekeepers to play for this tournament. You only get to play one deck the entire tournament, and my choice fell upon Peacekeepers, upon Dream Keepers, I don't know. Peacekeepers. That is the deck I'm playing, as you can see, and I'm playing it against the Boros deck, Act of War, played by apeheta or apeheta, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I consider this to be a very good matchup for I've already mentioned multiple times in the past that I do very well with the Peacekeepers deck, which is why of course I'm running it in this tournament. It is game time. I want to win as much as I can, so I'm playing the best deck I can. This commentary is also not live. This is recorded after the fact, because live commentary takes away a little bit of my concentration, and I don't want to be at a disadvantage because I'm doing live commentary. So instead I am doing this after the fact, providing the commentary for these games, but I do record them as they happen, of course. And yeah, so I need to deal with this guy because he has that that annoying guy that keeps drawing him cards, Mentor of the Meek, and let's get rid of that. I got a lot of damage incoming here, so I was off to a very quick start this match, and I'm dealing him a lot of damage, taking him down to 5 life already. While he's having a bit of a, well, not even a slow start really. It's just turn 3. I mean, there's so much damage already on the board, and he has 3 lands out. Although I think it's actually his turn 5, because he didn't draw a land turn 3. So yeah, I seem to remember that he didn't draw a land turn 3. I wasn't really paying attention to the screen at the time of recording. Of recording my voice right now. I wasn't paying attention turn 3 to the screen, but I am now, as I was still doing my little intro for the tournament. But yeah, I seem to remember that he didn't have a land that turn. But anyways, this match is pretty much over. I take my first victory here, which means there's only 2 more victories I need to get, and I'll have defeated apeheta and his Act of War deck. This match starts out with me only having 1 land in hand. Neither of us decided to sideboard in any cards, because that is allowed in this tournament. You can sideboard in some cards as long as your maximum doesn't go over 70 cards. So I decided not to sideboard in any cards this round, as I felt comfortable with what my deck could do. And apeheta also didn't sideboard any cards, which is a little bit curious because he is playing a very bad matchup for him. So you'd expect to see some sideboarding on his side, but apparently not. Maybe he is not running those Radiance cards that really wreck him against my deck, because I'm running white as well as his creatures, which are also white. So any cards with Radiance on it don't work as well against my deck as they would against any other deck. And drawing those probably, you know, could really lose in the game, because that I'm very lucky he didn't have Flame Whip to play on his Boros guy that turn. His Boros double strike guy. So I commented on that, and I decided to deal in 1 damage. He's off to a quicker start than I am this turn, this round. No, this match. It is still round 1, but it's match 2. So yeah, he is off to a quicker start than I am. But let's see if we can turn that around and see about winning this. So we go on over to his turn after me having played 2 creatures this turn with 3 mana ahead. And let's see what apeheta can do about this. Or what I can do about apeheta, as is the case at the moment, because he is being more aggressive than I am right now. I think about blocking with Doom Traveler here, simply because he could have some trickery and deal a lot of damage thanks to that double strike. And something like one of those Radiance cards I was just talking about, which pumps his attack power at instant speed. So I really don't want to take that much damage from his double strike guy. So that's why I decide to just take the safe route and chump block there. Here I decide to just simply attack, because I have to play Fiend Hunter to take care of his 4-drop, because that guy makes it impossible to race him for damage as it has lifelink. So I decide that I need to take care of that pronto, and thus I don't have anything else I want to play, and I attack with all my creatures. Because the other choice was, of course, to try and trick him somehow with my pump spell, but I decided that instead I needed to take care of his creature. And he also thinks his creature is very important here, as is shown by him taking out my Fiend Hunter in a 2-for-1 and gaining back his creature in the process, which is a good move. And it's certainly a reason why Fiend Hunter isn't always amazing. If they can kill it, then they get their creature back after all. So, but it starts out as a 2-for-1 for you, and then they get the 2-for-1 you back. So I mean, that's not card disadvantage. It just means that it's easier for them to deal with than any other kind of removal, because it's a creature, and creatures are always the easiest card to take care of in Magic the Gathering. I decide not to attack here, as I would only really bring 3 damage. And I feel like it's better to just be defensive here. I'm at 10 life, he's at 19. I need to deal with his creatures. Obviously, if I was him playing this, I would certainly expect some kind of trickery here, as I have 3 mana open with Peacekeepers. But he plays Rise of the Hobgoblins, which means he taps out except for the 1 land needed to give his guys first strike, and he plays that first main phase because of that ability to give his guys first strike at instant speed, which may be relevant here, but it also means that I know for a fact that he can't do anything about my trickery here, because he tapped out for it. So that means I'm safe in the knowledge that I can just wreck his entire side with Guardian's Pledge. So yeah, which I'm quite happy about here. And that takes care of all his creatures, and all my creatures still live, regardless of his first strike. So that was a quite unfortunate turn of events for him. I'm looking in my graveyard if there's anything worth getting back with Sun Titan. There really isn't, so instead the best course of action here is to just play Captain of the Watches. With the Honor of the Pure, I'll be able to get in for a lot of damage the turn after. And indeed, even if I didn't have the Captain of the Watch, I might have just played Honor of the Pure instead of Sun Titan. I mean, that just deals a lot of damage to him, so yeah. Get my Captain of the Watch down, get a lot of creatures into play here, and I have this Honor of the Pure in my hand. Now the Sun Titan is something I decided to add in later, after building my deck. Mainly because of the success I've been having with it in Aura Servants. I do think Sun Titan is less powerful in this deck, especially because of cards like Guardian's Pledge and and other things that just aren't permanents, and thus you can't get back with Sun Titan, and like Raise the Alarm wouldn't profit from Sun Titan, so there's less cards that work well together with it in this deck. Anyways, I do think it can be a very powerful card regardless. So yeah, I managed to get in for lethal damage, quite some damage at that. So let's go on to game number 3 and see if his luck is about to change and if he can get some better results this time. So I did decide to sideboard during match number 2 and match number 3. As we saw in previous matches, Lightning Helix is a very good answer to my my Fiend Hunter, my 1/3 guy that takes care of one of his creatures, but if he kills it, then he gets his creature back. So I decided that Fiend Hunter isn't worth running in this matchup, and the better course of action is to just run Pacifism, because there really isn't much in his deck. Like, there's no bounce or anything, so Pacifism isn't the worst card. It's just as good as any removal in this matchup. So I'd rather run that rather than the Fiend Hunter, which he can get rid of actually, and he can't get rid of Pacifism with his deck. So that is a better option for this matchup. And also I decided to exchange the guy that kills 4 power or higher creatures by tapping, and add in, I think, Captain Skull. Those were the sideboarding options I made, because obviously there's not a lot of creatures in this deck that have 4 or more power, so there's not a big need for that guy. So I sideboarded those in, even though I'd already won 2 games. But you know, I mean, always play as best as possible, right? And that includes sideboarding, in my opinion. Never underestimate your opponent. So I managed to deal with his double strike guy here, which I wasn't too happy about him getting that out with Flame Whip all of a sudden. But I had the obvious perfect answer for it, which is obviously a perfect answer for anything, which is Oblivion Ring. Although, actually Oblivion Ring isn't a perfect answer for Panoptic Mirror, because they can then bounce to Oblivion Ring and get infinite turns at instant speed pretty much. But that is a whole different discussion. Let's not get into that. Anyways, so I did manage to get rid of that, and I decided to chump block before I was able to get rid of that, because I just simply didn't want to take 6 damage. I didn't want him to gain 6 life. Since my guy dies to just his first strike, he only gained 3 life at that time. And I'm really talking in the past now, so let's concentrate on what is going on the screen right now, which is that I play the Dawn Elemental, which his deck has 0 answers for. Yeah, that's what's up. His deck just isn't able to deal with Dawn Elemental, and then just, I mean, that is another reason why this is such a bad matchup for Active War. And I must say, I'm very impressed that this guy hasn't been complaining so far about these lucky draws I'm getting, about the fact that his deck is such a bad matchup. I mean, he had every right to complain about that fact. Occasionally you see people complain about the strangest things that you really like. Why are you complaining about this? But this time around, I would have agreed with him had he complained, but he does not. So I can certainly appreciate him being such a good sport about this whole thing. Anyways, as you can see, I have yet again just a lot of creatures on board, a lot of stuff to pump my creatures. I'm doing the math right here, seeing if I can kill him. If I bring everything, I can't. I would take him to 1. So instead, I don't bring the Captain of the Watch. But I mean, since I would take him to 1, if I did bring the Captain of the Watch, he wouldn't be able to double block it anyway. So I should have brought Captain of the Watch, which is a small mistake I made here. But it really doesn't matter, because there are just no outs in his deck to the situation at hand. Bright Flame is his only mass removal, sort of, but he only has 4 lands out right now, so he would need to. He would only have 5 lands out next turn, and that means he would only be able to Bright Flame for 1, which really doesn't deal with anything. And even if it did deal with anything, it wouldn't still not deal with Dawn Elemental, which again his deck has no responses to. Just zero. Other than try and race me, I guess. And not only that, but his deck works on a level where it tries to outguy me. It tries to have more guys on the field than me, which is really the game that Peacekeepers is playing as well. And as you can see, it really doesn't work for him, because Peacekeepers is just a better deck. It's as simple as that. So, yeah. When it comes to that, I really just... Yeah, as I'm saying right there, this Peacekeeper deck is just extremely consistent for me, and there's just no chance for him with the Boros deck. So, it has been unlucky for him that round 1 in a single elimination tournament he goes up against the worst matchup his deck could possibly have, as well as that deck being played by me, as I consider myself pretty good at this game. So yeah, I'm figuring out the Stevens here. If he blocks my Captain of the Watch, it's a Stevens. If he doesn't, then it's not. But good game is ready. And he knows, he shows with that move that he knows it's a Stevens if he blocks there, but decides not to anyway. So yeah, anyways, my name's been Nemo. I hope you enjoyed this little video. And round 2 will be upcoming as soon as that shall be done. Off the top of my head, I'm not exactly sure when round 2 can be played, but look forward to it either way, and look forward to the DLC releasing, of course, tomorrow. And I'm obviously going to do some gameplay with those decks as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. My name's been Nemo. My name will still be Nemo in the next video. We are off to round 2 with a victory in round 1, a 3-0 victory against the Boros deck with my mono white Peacekeepers. Thanks for watching. Have a great day now, and see you next time. Bye bye.